Good afternoon, Bookfighters. It is Tuesday, May 17th, and last week I read Summer by German Soldier by Betty Green. I always look at the title, or like the cover, like I don't know what I read, but I read Summer by German Soldier by Betty Green, and I believe in my last video I said that I was pretty sure that this book would make me cry. And I was right. I was completely right. I knew that it would make me emotional, simply, and I knew that it would be a sad book, simply because it's about World War II, and I mean, like, find me a happy World War II book. Yeah. So I knew that it would be sad. But I don't think that I was emotionally prepared for the amount of upset this book caused me. Like, to the point where I was sitting there with the book in my lap, like crying and like yelling at characters. Could just be me. You know, it's just been one of those weeks where everything is just a little more emotional and I'm just a little more hysterical than I usually am. But I don't think that was all of it, because this book, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it was an excellent book. It was fantastic, and I'd read it again in a heartbeat, and do it all over again. But just going into it, just kind of assuming that it would be sad, and then, you know, expecting to be like, "Aw, sad," and not exactly like hysterical, like hand to my chest, tears rolling down my face sad. That it ended up being, not expecting that. But still very good. And definitely one of those books that I will recommend to people frequently so that they can share my pain. I've heard that there's a sequel. I don't know if I'm interested. Like, I liked where it ended, as upsetting as it was. And I don't really know what you would do with a sequel, but so I probably won't read it. But I've heard that there is one. If you've read it and you didn't know that, I've heard that there is a sequel. So yeah, the book that I'm gonna read this week is not The Long Walk, because my library, I ordered it from my library because my library didn't have it in the first place, so I put it on order, and then they had to order it from a library farther away, and it has not come yet. So unless it shows up like tomorrow morning, I will be reading I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. Stupid movie cover. It was cheaper. But yeah, so I will be reading I Am Legend, unless The Long Walk magically appears at the library tomorrow morning, in which case I will read The Long Walk. But we're living under the assumption that my library is a piece of shit, and it will be here probably next week, since they're shipping it in from like middle of nowhere, Nevada. So yeah, I don't think there were any questions. I know Dan said he had a question and then he forgot it. But yeah, I feel like I should ask a question, because I feel like we haven't had a question in a long time. So, okay, question, so we'll see if I'm the only crazy one. Has there ever been a book that made you, like, cry? Like, not like, oh, tear little gatherings, like tears down your face, actual, like, upset crying. You know, Side note, not Deathly Hallows. Because most people I know cry during Deathly Hallows. So I'm just kind of eliminating that one. So aside from Deathly Hallows, has there ever been a book that made you, like, legit cry? That's my question. It's a crappy question, but it's a question. So yeah, obviously there have been plenty of those. Just look back in my videos. I'm sure there have been plenty of others that I've done for this project. I'm a crier. It just, I don't know what it is. So yeah, that's my question. No questions for me to answer. So I will see all of you next week. Sarah, I will see you tomorrow, and the rest of you, fare thee well, Bookfighters.